Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about how you can feed your family healthy, easy meals while staying within a budget. This two-step system will change your grocery shopping, I promise. Step one when trying to stick to a budget is to change your mindset. And I know that that can be tricky, but if we want to stick to this list, we need to change what we're doing up here first. Buying organic and specialty ingredients is something for a later season. Get out of debt, meet your savings goals, and then increase your standard of living. As a family of 3, we ate for about $80 a week. And then when we had another son, we increased it to $100 a week. Obviously, as a newborn, he wasn't eating, but I knew I would need a little bit more money for a few convenience items instead of making even my yogurt and tortillas from scratch. And then once he did start eating, I cut back on some of those pre-made items and kept the budget the same, but bought more food to incorporate his needs. This is just an example. Now we're a little further down the road. I spend about $130 a month for us as a family of 4. My 5-year-old eats as much as my husband. We eat healthy. I eat 180 grams of protein a day, minimum 25 grams of fiber, but usually 30 or even more. I get my vegetables, my fruits, and I also enjoy treats like homemade sourdough English muffins or homemade donuts in the air fryer. I absolutely love the variety in our diet. So whereas before we ate a little bit more vegetarian, low budget items, now we have incorporated more of the items we like. You need to decide where you're at in this process and the budget that is right for your income and your goals. I can't tell you what that's going to be. Also, if you have allergies, I'm so lucky that we don't. If we had a gluten allergy or any other form of allergy, we would have to be much more careful. We still don't buy many pre-made or convenience items. I do buy pre-made tortillas now, some pre-made sandwich bread, and I'm not making my yogurt anymore. Those days are gone. But I'm still really happy that we stick to a budget and we eat really healthy. I highly suggest you do grocery pickup only. Grocery pickup at Walmart is free. It does not cost you anything. You do not have to have Walmart Plus to do it. But by having the grocery pickup, you're not able to go to the store hungry and then see something that looks a little yummy and tantalizing and then add it to the cart. Instead, you're sticking to the budget because you can see the subtotal as you add items. Again, if you have a specific store you want to shop at, that might have to wait until you're at a budget where you can afford it. The simple reality is math is black and white. And once you have a set number on how much you can spend, you need to just honor that. And everything else is second and can come with time. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I'm absolutely okay if you disagree with me. Please share your experiences in the comments because I'm only one person who's only lived one life. You may have so much to teach me. And this is where we start meal planning. I want you to not think about next week, to not think about your schedule, to not think about what capacity you have for new recipes. I just want you to open a notes app on your phone. I don't think that this part necessarily works as well on paper, but you can do that too if that's what you prefer. But open the notes app on your phone and just brain dump any recipe you can think of, from easy things that your kids love to eat to a bit nicer that you maybe only eat for holidays or birthdays or maybe once a week for the weekend. Brain dump all those recipes in your notes app. My note had, I think, 30 recipes before I accidentally lost it when my phone crashed. But I wrote everything down in that list. And then it just sat there. I did not touch it, okay? Anytime my husband and I would think of something or we thought of, that recipe we saw on TV was really good because we both like YouTube cooking shows, we would just add it to the list. We may not be able to mimic it perfectly, but we usually got pretty close. But now it's grocery day, okay? Go grocery shopping once a week, period. Period. Make it do or do without, okay? I grocery shop on Fridays. I do not go midweek unless we absolutely have to. Oftentimes, if we're going to Walmart in the evening, in the middle of the week, it's because it's winter and we have nowhere else to go in a small town. I really try to honor my budget. So on grocery shopping day, what you're gonna do is open the notes app in your phone, select all, and copy it into a new note. Keep that original. That is your master plan, big list. You're not touching it, okay? Leave that data bank alone. Go to a new note, paste everything in there, and then just start deleting. And trust me, it's a lot easier to delete what doesn't sound good, what sounds too hard, or things that you've had too recently. And just keep deleting until you hit 6 or 7 items. I say 6 or 7 because there's usually enough leftovers in our house to do a 7th night, but because we also use our leftovers to feed us at lunch, I don't always have enough, so usually I'll just do 7, and then if we don't need that 7th meal, it rolls over to next week. But I still buy all 7 with this week's money. So I whittle it down until it is 6 or 7 meals. You pick. Are you going to eat out maybe on Sunday? Tomorrow is my birthday, so on Saturday, we will eat out. So next week, I only need 6 meals. Now you're going to take that list, keep that open, and open the Walmart app, and then only add the ingredients for those 6 meals. Think about what's in your fridge, go give yourself a fresh look. I very rarely have food left in my fridge from the week before because I buy specifically what I need for that week and usually nothing extra. So I'm just having to familiarize myself with, did we maybe have an extra bell pepper? Are there extra carrots? Are there extra potatoes? How much oatmeal is in the canister? Do I need more oatmeal? Etc. So then add the ingredients for those specific meals first. Once that is done, add the basics for lunch and breakfast. Again, personally, I am not cooking a whole nother meal from scratch at lunchtime. My husband is at the office with packed up dinner from the night before. I tend to fend for myself based on what's in the fridge. And then my kids will either have leftovers. The other day they had leftover spaghetti. Then the day after that, they had some leftover ham from when we took sandwiches hiking. So I made a ham and cheese sandwich, a grilled ham and cheese sandwich, and they loved it. And it was just with leftovers and then the sandwich bread that I had brought fresh this week. So we keep lunch pretty simple. And even during the week, I would say our weekday meals are often pretty simple. Last night was mashed potatoes, broccoli, and grilled chicken thighs on the little grill top we have for the counter. A George Foreman knockoff I got at the thrift store. I made enough for us and another family, and we still stayed within our budget this week, even though I doubled how much food we were making last night. If I had wanted to and had time, I could have made some fresh sourdough rolls to go with dinner. I do more of like the, if I'm saying this right, pain au levain, French style, where you use your sourdough starter, but essentially just make a normal loaf of bread. There's none of the folds. It's a lot easier. That's what I prefer. And the sourdough taste isn't quite as rich. Sometimes I miss that, but my kids eat it way better. So it's a win all around. So I have my Walmart app and I am adding the ingredients for those meals. And then I'm only adding the basics for breakfast and lunch. While I'm adding those, I'm being mindful of ingredients that are affordable. Old-fashioned rolled oats, potatoes, flour, sugar, canola oil. If you have allergies, adjust accordingly. Thankfully, we do not, and I choose to stick to a budget rather than buying name brand or specialty ingredients like different oils. To cut us back on how much oil we take in, I don't fry anything, and I will often water saute. I do this all of the time, but my husband still uses a little bit of oil. We cook a lot of Indian food, so we use the masala daba with the different spices. He adds a little bit of oil and fries the spices before adding onion and garlic. I'll add water and water saute, and it still tastes delicious. If you haven't done that yet, I highly recommend it. It's a great way to cut down on oils rather than buy a more expensive specialty oil and then still have a high oil intake. Frozen versus fresh. Almost all of our side vegetables, green beans, broccolis, Brussels sprouts is frozen. When it's frozen fresh from the farm, it maintains a lot more of the nutrients that your body needs. So it's actually far better for us to buy the frozen vegetables rather than buy it fresh, knowing that it's just sat in the truck, in the heat, and then now at Walmart for who knows how long. So buy the frozen. We do that for fish as well, and then we focus on more of the dry stores, if you've ever heard that phrase. You can buy a bag of lentils, and if you ever need an extra meal, dal rice in the Instant Pot, that pot and pot method is quick and easy. I think I might record that sometime because it's just a shocker of a quick, easy, budget-friendly meal that can feed your family, and everyone raves about it. I make it for guests sometimes because it's always a win. Now, the hard part, the part that takes self-control, is going to your cart and deleting items until the total matches your budget. Yep, and you've got to be strict with yourself. You've got to be honest. Could you buy a cheaper version? Could you do without? I don't know how many times I've denied myself a fancier meal and swapped for a box of spaghetti and a can of sauce because that $2 meal is just what we need to make this budget work. However, because of that, we're debt free. It's amazing and it's worth it, and that peace of mind can't be bought. I do still buy fresh produce from the produce section, but perhaps I'll only use half or a third of the bell pepper, and then I'll add it in at the end so it maintains a little bit of the crispness and you notice its freshness more. You're getting more of the nutrients. They're not cooked out, sweated out. And instead you get to notice, oh, this is vibrant, this has color. We also will use the frozen turkey meat from Festive. It's far more affordable than beef. We very rarely buy beef. We buy chicken in the biggest tray that we can. Leg quarters are also a great way to save on money. There is turkey breakfast sausage that's really delicious. And also for breakfasts, don't be afraid of keeping breakfast simple. My go-to is chocolate oatmeal with a protein shake. My kids love oatmeal with half of a mashed banana and blueberries. My husband, we meal prep his breakfast burritos. We buy the high fiber off-brand tortillas. We cook up 2 pounds of beans, fry up 1 pack of the turkey meat that I was mentioning, taco seasoned if we can find it. And then we add a bunch of the Cajun seasoned salt and frozen potatoes. Mix it up in 2 big bowls, and then it makes 4 packs of tortillas, and that lasts him a very long time. He does 2 a day, sometimes just 1. And he'll even do it if I make something special like cinnamon rolls or waffles or pancakes. He'll often still have 1 breakfast burrito just to give himself a little bit more protein, a lot more fiber. So it also gives him a more healthy breakfast. We meal prep it, I would say once every 2 to 3 weeks. Wrap them in tin foil and stick them in the refrigerator, and then each day as he removes it, he saves the tin foil and we use it the next week. Once they're wrapped in tin foil, we also stick them in a Ziploc bag, I should say. That adds some freshness. The trimming down can be hard because you might want a treat, but also I found whenever I'm doing a budget challenge, like last month we did a no spend challenge, I found I was so motivated to make more treats from scratch. So we did so many fun recipes, and my oven is broken, so I did everything in my air fryer, and it was still an amazing month of warm, fresh, delicious treats. All right, so to summarize, fix the mindset, okay? Budget is black and white math, okay? We just have to honor it. Specialty items can come in a later season. 2, we are only gonna do grocery pickup. That way our eyes aren't tempted to buy more, and that way we can tally our total as we go. And 3rd, by having that master list of recipes, it takes the pressure off when trying to meal plan. And we're no longer just filling our cart with ingredients and then in the moment having to come up with a meal plan on the top of our head. It's always more stressful and you're more likely to eat out, which is not what we want to do. Go into the week with your recipes. You don't have to pick, this one's for Monday, this one's for Tuesday. No, what energy do you have on Tuesday? Could you do one of your fancier recipes that you picked out? Or is this, like for us, Awana's night? They needed to be there at 5:20. I needed to drop off a meal for my friend along the way. So we did something quick and easy, and I cooked earlier in the day. Also, we're focusing on cheap ingredients, dry stores, potatoes, oatmeal, you know it. Love rice, I love rice. Everyone thinks they have to buy the cheap rice. Rice is already cheap, so even if you buy the fancier rice, it's still a very affordable carb to have alongside your meal. So we buy the bigger bags of basmati from Walmart and cook it up in our Instant Pot, and it's so fluffy and soft, and each grain of rice is just nicely separated. It's not clumped together. Frozen versus fresh. Beans and rice are your friends, and they combine to create a complete protein. The full amino acid profile. Simplify your lunch, simplify your breakfast. Maybe do 1 or 2 things that are special on the weekend when you have a little bit more time. And then at the end, be ruthless. Take out anything that does not fit in your budget. That is our grocery system. It's been working for years now. We have had great health. All of our doctor's appointments have been good. My husband and I both have gained a lot of muscle, and my kids have grown like weeds. Are we eating everything organic? No. But I buy frozen berries, and they're just as yummy in oatmeal. I make granola from scratch. It's just as yummy on yogurt. There's so many hacks on YouTube and emergency food plans on YouTube. The resources are truly unending. Now, friend to friend, if you cannot afford your groceries, it's okay to ask for help. we as your community want to support you, okay? Don't be afraid to use the resources near you if you're in need of them. All right, we're done. Thank you so much for listening. Happy shopping, everybody. You're welcome in my home anytime. Bye-bye.